I won millions in the lottery and decided not to tell anyone. I asked my family for help as a test. 3 weeks ago, I bought a lottery ticket at the gas station like I do every Friday. I usually just check the numbers online and throw the ticket away, but this time, I stared at my phone for like 5 minutes straight. All 6 numbers matched perfectly. $47 million. After taxes, I'd still have enough money to never work again. But instead of celebrating, I got this weird feeling in my stomach. I wanted to see who in my family would actually help me if I really needed it. See, my family has always been weird about money. My brother Kevin makes good money as an engineer, but acts like he's broke whenever anyone needs help. My sister Nicole inherited our grandmother's house, but constantly complains about being poor. And my parents have savings, but always lecture everyone about living within your means. So I came up with a plan. I told everyone I was having serious financial problems. I said my car needed a new transmission that would cost $3,000, and I couldn't afford it. I explained that without a car, I'd lose my job at the medical office where I work as a receptionist. The responses were exactly what I expected. Kevin said he was tight this month because of his mortgage, even though he just posted pictures of his new boat on Facebook. Nicole said she'd love to help, but all her money was tied up in home improvements. My parents gave me a lecture about budgeting and suggested I take the bus to work. But then, my cousin Amy surprised me. She's a single mom who works at a daycare and barely makes ends meet. She called me the next day and said she could lend me $500. It wasn't much, but it was literally everything she had in her savings account. My uncle Frank, who's retired and lives on Social Security, offered to co-sign a loan for me at his bank. He said family should stick together no matter what. Even my teenage nephew Chris texted me saying he'd been saving money from his part-time job at the movie theater and could give me $200. For 2 weeks, I watched my wealthy family members make excuses while the people who actually struggled were the only ones willing to help. Kevin even had the nerve to suggest I should learn to be more responsible with money, like him. That's when I decided to reveal the truth. I invited everyone over for Sunday dinner and told them I had an announcement. They probably thought I was going to ask for more money or admit I was filing for bankruptcy. Instead, I pulled out the lottery ticket and my phone with the winning numbers. I told them I'd won $47 million 3 weeks ago and had been testing to see who would help family in need. The room went completely silent. Kevin's face turned bright red. Nicole started stammering about how she was just about to offer help, but wanted to check her bank account first. My parents tried to say they were teaching me a lesson about self-reliance, but I wasn't done. I told Amy I was paying off her student loans and giving her enough money to buy a house. I handed Uncle Frank an envelope with $50,000 for always being there for everyone. Chris got money for college plus a new car for being willing to give up his savings. As for Kevin, Nicole, and my parents, I told them they'd clearly demonstrated how they felt about helping family, so they shouldn't expect any help from me in the future. Kevin actually had the audacity to say I was being unfair and that blood was thicker than water. I laughed and said, apparently, blood was only thick when money was flowing toward them, not away from them. Nicole started crying and saying she'd always been a good sister. I reminded her that good sisters don't abandon each other when life gets tough. The best part was watching them try to backtrack and suddenly become generous. Kevin offered to pay for my car repairs right there at dinner. My parents said they'd been planning to help all along, but wanted me to learn independence first. I told them it was too late. The test was over and they'd all failed spectacularly. Amy was crying happy tears because she could finally stop working 2 jobs. Uncle Frank kept saying he couldn't believe it. Chris was already making plans for college. 6 months later, my life is completely different. I bought a nice house and quit my job to travel. Amy moved into a beautiful home near her daughter's school. Uncle Frank is taking the vacation he's dreamed about for 20 years, and my brother, sister, and parents. They still call sometimes asking if I've thought about sharing the blessing with family. I always tell them I already did with the family members who actually acted like family when it mattered. The funniest part is Kevin recently asked to borrow money for a business investment. I told him I was tight this month and suggested he learn to budget better. He hung up on me. Money really does show you who people truly are.